What's up? We back with another episode of 411 Uncut. Today I got a special guest on the couch with me. My boy Cinco in the building. What's up?
What's going on? What's going on, y'all?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Okay, what about yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I know you're doing good because you got this single out, One Fine. Yep. We're going to talk about it. It's really the vibes, too, for the summer. I'm not going to yai.
Appreciate that.
But first things first, Cinco. I know you from Cincinnati, but what part of the city you from?
So, I was born and raised in the Princeton area. So, that's where, I came from. And then after that, I kind of moved to Liberty Township, like I'll say 8th grade year a little bit. So, yeah.
Okay, for sure. So, what was it like for you growing up in Princeton and Liberty, more 75 north of the city? What was it like for you?
It was good. It was some good things and bad things, I'll say. I kind of had like a little bit of like a rough childhood, but also like I didn't, So it was definitely like a balanced out for sure. It was
cool. So it was balanced out for real.
Yeah, it was balanced out.
That's what's up. Now, who was all in the household with you? Mom, dad, any siblings?
So I come from a big family. I got 9 siblings. I'm the oldest of 9.
Whoa.
Yes, 9 siblings. And so I got my dad, my mom. I got my stepmom and my stepdad. So yeah, it's a pretty big family.
So you got a big family.
Big family.
Wow. So you'd be at home with your mom and then go home with your dad. You would kind of be in between both households?
Most definitely, yeah. Okay. That's how it was.
Wow. And you the oldest, so you big brother to a lot of siblings on both sides.
Yes, on both sides. Yep. Oldest of 9. So no, oldest of 10. Including me, yeah.
Whew, that's a lot. Now, with that, were you always had to be in charge of the house at both households? Wherever you went, you were always in charge?
A little bit of mixture. It's almost like being the oldest is weird because it's like, you got to make sure that you lead by example, but it's also too, it's like you don't all the way get like the power and like authority to tell anybody what to do. You kind of just, like it's like a weird mixture. I don't know.
Sure. Now, what school did you end up going to?
So, I left Princeton after my 7th grade year, and then I went to Lakota East to finish off my high school career. So that's where I ended up going to. That's
where you graduated from, was Lakota East?
Lakota East, yeah.
Yeah. Were you into any hobby sports in school?
Yeah, I played football pretty much all my life. Like, I'll say football, that was like my first love, really, like, and then I would say also music, like, just doing music, but I'll say mainly football. That was like the big thing for me in high school for sure.
Yeah. So you actually got your start in music in high school? You were actually like recording and things like that? Were you messing around with music a little bit?
Yeah, so like I'll say like the first time I ever recorded a song, I was with 2 of my homeboys, and we went over to my house, and literally we was all bored, so we was like, why not? Okay, let's make a song. And we ended up making my first song when I was probably about like 14, 15 years old. So yeah.
Okay. So then did you had some flow on you could spit?
I'm not gonna lie to you, that first song, hey, I was over there rapping like ABCD. It was not.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best, but I feel like I definitely found my flow when when I started doing it by myself, because I was able to just do what I wanted to do, not what everybody else wanted to do. So
for sure. Now, after high school, did you want to pursue college? Did you pursue college at all?
So I remember during high school, I did want to go to college, but then after COVID happened, it kind of like just changed everything, because it was like, I didn't have the best GPA that COVID year. It was like, so I was like, maybe I'm just not gonna go to college, and I was like, I'm gonna just find something else I'm gonna do.
Yeah. So what was you doing? You 18 years old, graduated high school. What was Cinco doing?
So I was in the headspace like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do real estate, and I'm gonna do that straight after high school. And yeah.
Wow. So really, so you said as soon as you graduated, you knew you wanted to get into real estate. What made you want to get into it?
So basically, like, my family, they've been into real estate pretty much all my life. Like, you know, I was that kid who was in the car while my dad, he was showing houses. So, you know, like I've been around it like my whole life. So I would say probably when I was a junior or sophomore, I was like, I'd definitely do real estate if it came down to it.
So, you know, you had, so your family, like, I know my dad, he's already in this.
Yes.
I already know that somebody can teach me the way and I can have a career without needing to go to college.
Yes. And like, you know, like I would say like I was third generation. So like my grandfather, he was the first person to get into it. You know, he was the first black man to make the $1 Million Club in Cincinnati.
Wow, your granddad?
First ever, yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so, you know.
Yeah, so you got a whole line of people that can say, like, this is what you do, this the road, this how I go. Now, getting into real estate, how was it? Was it harder than you expected, or was it pretty, did it come easy to you because you had been around it so long growing up?
So, I would say with real estate, I definitely kind of got in at like a weird time, because that's kind of like when like the inflation was going through the roof and like nobody was really buying as much houses like that. So I mean, I would say like I definitely had like a harder start than most agents, but I would say that I still had a pretty good path. I feel like, you know, like it wasn't all bad. It was just like a little hard start for sure. So
for sure. Now I know that you had said you had been started music back in high school. Where did music lay in between this? Now that you're in real estate, were you still sliding out to the studio and still writing or still wanting to be an artist even though you had gotten into real estate?
Yeah, so I know like after I got my real estate license, like I was doing music for like a cool like 6 months of me having my license. But then after that I kind of was like, all right, it's time for me to just focus like only like on real estate. You know, I was like, I'm done with music.
Really?
It's time to focus on life and, you know, okay, focus on building a great path. So
yeah, what you felt like, and what was you going by at that time? Were you going by Cinco or you were a whole nother?
So I was going by BT Bagman, and the way how I came up with that name, so I was with my homeboys, you know, and after we made my first song, we all had to come up with an artist name.
Yeah.
So I was like, how am I come up with an artist name? I was like, okay, BT is my initials, and then I was like, Bagman, because I'm like, BT, get that bag, man. And
okay.
I was like BT Bagman for sure. So then, yeah, like that's how I came up with that name.
Man, so you decided after that, you was like, I'm leaving BT Bagman in the past and I'm going into being in real estate and following along my family footsteps, my grandfather, my dad. I'm next up. Yep. So this is where I'm going. Now you said, how long did you stop doing music totally?
I'll say probably for about like a cool year and a half, probably like a year.
So it didn't last that long.
Yeah, it wasn't too long.
What drew you back?
So I feel like every time I tried to run away from music, some way, somehow, it just kept coming back in my face. I would say, I remember when I went to the T-Pain concert, I talked to T-Pain for about 30 minutes in the backstage, and I showed him like 4 of my songs, and he was like, yo, you got a lot of talent, man. And he was like, I can definitely see myself seeing you in like 2 years. So, you know,
T-Pain
like,
told you this?
T-Pain, he told me that. So when he said that to me, it was like I'm looking up to like a idol, and he told me, you know, I could do this. So that's when I was like, man, I don't know, you know, I might need to give music a shot one day again. So
yeah.
But yeah.